Good evening, everyone. It's Wednesday evening, and welcome to Grow and Clip Bonsai for Seniors. My name's Tom Novak. Today I have some trees that came in from the Arbor Day Foundation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in a milk crate for the winter time, so they can, because they're in a dormant state right now. I'm not going to do anything else but put them in the container. Right now I'm using a milk crate. I got styrofoam on all four sides. It'll act like an insulator. And then this is the soil I got inside. I'm going to mix some, let's see if you can see it without there, from Extreme Gardening, the mucose beneficial bacteria. I'm going to mix some of that into the soil. And then on the bottom of the container, I got landscape fabric, so that'll keep everything from washing out and bugs coming in. Right now, I got the tree soaking for a couple hours in some lukewarm water with some Ultimate water conditioner that I got from the aquarium shop. I got some Azo's beneficial bacteria in there from Extreme Gardening. This will help get the roots acclimated and attached to the roots, so they're good for the winter time. It's a good root conditioner. It promotes the growth of the roots, so with this warm weather on and off, it'll help us out. So I have 3 American Redbuds, 3 Sargent Crabapples, 3 white flowering Dogwoods, 1 Washington Hawthorn, and they're all color coded. And I wrote tags so I know what they are. So I got the American Redbud there. Let's see. And then, if you can see, I got no paint because that's the way it came in. So that way there I can mark it off. So now if I can lift this pot up, I'm not going to water the trees in until I get it outside because the pot's heavy enough as it is because of the soil. So up we go. So the soil is pretty pliable. It's not frozen yet. So what I'm going to do is take some unmilled sphagnum moss and stick some in there. And it's dry, but it's good to help it. It'll help work it in. Now this container, I grew string beans in it, bush beans. So the soil is pretty good. It should have some good conditioner. I'm not adding no fertilizer to it because I want the roots to grow and I don't want to burn them out because they're too young. I'm going to take 2 scoops of the mucose. Put it in. Sprinkle it in. And just like you're mixing a cake, get it all in there. I'm going to put them close together because in the spring, when I know they're growing real good, I'll leave them in there for maybe till middle of July. Make sure they're growing good before I try to take them out. But you got to mix it good, just like you're mixing for a cake or whatever you're going to make. So right now, let me see what we got here. I see the white flowering Dogwoods we're going to do first. That's in the white paint, so I'll put my marker there. And I'll take them out one at a time. And as you can see, there is a super long taproot on this thing. So there's a lot of roots over here. So what I'm going to do is cut this much off of the taproot, because there's really no feeder roots on it. And that way there, whatever feeder roots are on here will get the tree growing real good. I'm planting it a little bit even with the soil, or a little bit deeper, because I want these roots to grow. Here's another one. You can see these long taproot and hardly any feeder roots, but I want the feeder roots to develop. So what I'm going to do is cut some more of that taproot off, about that much, if you can see. And then put that in. I've got my spoon, so it'll help us out a little better to get it in. Like I say, I'm putting it in just a little bit deeper because I want these roots to grow and I don't want them to freeze out on me. Push it in. And then when I get outside, the bucket that I have them soak it in, it's got all that good beneficial bacteria in there. I'm going to water it in to the soil here. And I have another one, but you can see the long taproot on this. And if we want to make a bonsai tree, this taproot's way too long. So what I'm going to just do is cut it. Now these trees are all from the Arbor Day Foundation. I got them free when you subscribe. So what I'm going to do is put them in. And next, I have the purple ones, and I think those are the crabapples, so I'm going to put them right here. Now here's a nice tall crabapple. And you can see the root, how it's got a funny direction, but I got a lot of good feeder roots up here, so I'm just going to cut it right above the bend there. And that way there, I have enough feeder roots to keep this thing alive. It's in a dormant state, so it really doesn't know that it's getting pruned. Right now the tree is sleeping. And I'm going to keep it asleep by putting it back outside where it's nice and cool. I'm going to get another, see if I can find another purple one. Now this one really has not too many feeder roots on it, so I'm not going to cut that much off. I'm going to cut just above where I got enough feeder roots here. So at least this will develop for me. And what I'll do is I'll just put it in a little bit deeper than normal because I want this thing to root. And I got another purple. Now this has no feeder roots on it at all. But we're going to cut about this much where the feeder root is just starting to develop. I don't know if you can see it right there. So I'm just going to cut it here. And hopefully I get more feeder roots developing on this. And then if I can, I'm going to plant it about up to here. So hopefully I get feeder roots out this way so I can cut this curve off or cut it over here. So we get a nice little flare. So let's get this one in. I'm planting them just a little bit deeper. I know you can't see them. I wish I had better camera work, but I don't. Right now I just got an old cracked tablet that I'm using. But you gotta work what you can. Hey, when you're retired, that's all you can afford. Now I have American Redbuds. These have no paint. So I'm gonna stick my label right here. And pull one out for you. This one has some nice feeder roots, so I'm going to pull them back to see where I can cut this taproot off. So what I'm going to do, I don't know if you can see it, I'm just going to cut it about there, where I still got some nice feeder roots on it. I'm going to put it into the soil about up to here, so I can develop more feeder roots on it. Now you'll notice it's got a little curve to it, but that's good. Curve naturally in nature. We do no wiring on none of these trees because we try to grow them as they grow in nature. Okay. There's another redbud. It's got a nice form to it. Where it was growing, I have no idea, but there's a big taproot here, so I'm going to cut it off about here, where I still have some feeder roots. Later on, we can cut more taproot off, but right now we want to save as much roots as possible until we can get it growing. And in the spring, we'll see what survives and what doesn't survive. I mean, the trees are free. But I don't like to see no trees die. But with this styrofoam, it usually protects the roots real good. It's about that thick, about maybe a ½ inch thick. You can buy it at Home Depot. And it's got a lot of nice feeder roots here, so I'm going to cut the taproot right about there. As you can see, all these feeder roots, I'm not going to cut them at all because I want this tree to live and to develop more. So I'm going to put it in. Now you're wondering why I'm not flaring out the roots and stuff. Well, the trees are dormant, it'll grow, and after that I can do root work on it. But right now I want these trees to survive. And they'll be in a nice little secluded area. It'll be protected from the wind and the cold. It's got good insulation on all four sides. Now here I got the Washington Hawthorn. It's got the yellow paint. So I'll put that here, my tag. Now this one has hardly any feeder roots on it at all, but it's a young tree. It's in a dormant state, so I'm just going to take a little bit off because I want these feeder roots to develop. Now you're thinking all these roots are going to intertwine. Well, we do what we can when we get them out, but for now we want them to overwinter and to hopefully they grow for us. So when I get it outside, I'll water them in real good with the water that I have for the that I soaked them in. I got a good porous soil here. That's on the nature of, well, I'll show you my soil mixtures later on so you can see how I mix my soils. And right now, hopefully they'll grow. So let's keep our fingers crossed for the spring and see what happens. So today is Wednesday night. Get a nice hot cup of tea. There's a lot of great old-time radio shows with old-time classic Christmas shows on, from like Jack Benny, Fibber McGee and Molly. They got Ozzie and Harriet. They got a good Sherlock Holmes Christmas one. There's a lot of them that I can't even mention. So if you look on YouTube, they're on there. So what I do is I usually pull up the radio station, put it on. Then I pull up another screen, put a nice fireplace on the screen, sit down, relax with a cup of tea, watch the fire, and listen to the old-time broadcasts. My name's Tom Novak. Thank you for coming to my station today for Grow and Clip Bonsai for Seniors. You have a nice day. Take care. For the rest of the night, pull up that cup of tea, enjoy a good radio show, and relax.